Let's talk about making habits.
Let's do it. You got to, I think, give a shout out to James Clear, Atomic Habits, BJ Fogg, Tiny Habits, with part one of making a habit is start small. The famous example from, I can't remember if it's BJ Fogg or James Clear, who said, if you want to make flossing a habit, start with one tooth.
And I do, like, that sounds so crazy, but you actually, I know I do that all the time. Like, you start with something in your teeth and, like, right? Like, so you get out, like, the little floss stick. And if you do one, you're like,
keep going.
Why in the world wouldn't I do the whole mouth?
You got to keep going. Yep.
So that, I mean, it really does work.
Yeah. We used to, it's been a while, but a lot of times in the past, you and I would talk about kind of asymmetrical payoffs. And so something small that you could do that could have a big impact. We talk about probably the biggest asymmetrical impact that we know of is getting 30 more minutes of sleep is probably the greatest single quality of life productivity optimizer you can do. And in that vein, is there something small that you could do that might make a big change? Whether it's getting more sleep, whether it's a slight, we introduced a habit in our marriage where usually, Sunday night through Friday night, or Thursday night, we're usually apart. And so we started a habit. We borrowed the DATE, D-A-T-E mnemonic from Caroline Webb's book, How to Have a Good Day, where D stands for something today you discovered, something you achieved, something you're thankful for, and something you experienced. And we used that every day, and it became a habit for us because we're worried about drifting apart. And so now we're back to this anxiety. The anxiety for the habit is we want to stay married. And this is a very precise thing.
It's an easy structure that basically pulls out a conversation where one wouldn't actually happen otherwise. Because like if we didn't have DATE, what would happen is we'd call each other and be like, how was your day? Good. How was your day? Good. And that would be the end of the conversation.
No. Anything happen? No.
Right.
When actually
lots
a whole ton of stuff happened.
But nothing really noteworthy. It's like just the stuff that during our days we were routinely handling.
Yep. And it's a habit. And it's a good habit. And it is fueled by an anxiety. Having trouble in the marriage or getting a divorce or whatever, that's anxiety. But this is a very precise manifestation of that, a very precise habit that's directly addressing our anxiety about the marriage by reconnecting us in a period of a few minutes. We're usually done with this whole thing in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's a little longer than 2.
2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's truly a habit. It's reconnective. And we began, and it's still small. It's 4 things that we comment on, basically. And I can't remember the last time we missed it.
I don't think we miss it.
Yeah. Start small. Your tendency is to think of what's the greatest change that you can make. Like I got to stop eating meat. I have to work out every day. Whereas maybe it's not stop eating meat, it's adding a salad once a week.
Or it's knowing what size portion you have on the plate.
Sure.
Then you're leaving more and more white space on the plate for like the meat, and you're letting other things take more of the plate, or you're leaving white space on the plate. Like that's another way to do like small. I was just talking to somebody the other day, and we were talking about fasting, and she's like, well, I can't do that because I'm always hungry. And I said, well, don't do it in one foul swoop. Like you do it by like pushing out your first meal an hour and to see how, and then let your body adjust to that. And like, that's again, a small step if that's the direction you want to go in.
Yeah. Which is a good example. So would you, rather than trying to become an intermittent faster, well, why? The cholesterol. Well, what if you, in this case, what if you just took cholesterol medicine? That might be not only easier, but more precise at alleviating your underlying anxiety than creating a habit which may only be
Which may not, I mean, it may
Not
not,
that efficient.
yeah, it's unclear whether or not it would impact it unless you also had a big change in diet. And even then, like some people produce cholesterol. So like it's all unclear about like the cholesterol link.
Yeah. So step one for creating a good habit is, as you've said, look for what's something small. I would say step two is in a nod to Katie Milkman out of University of Pennsylvania, I believe, who's done a lot of research on seemingly common sense, simple things like start on a good day, start on a Monday, start at the first of the month, start on your birthday, start on a holiday. But people actually picking a Monday to start, or the first of the month, or some other noteworthy day have a slightly greater chance of sticking with things. And then in a nod to your Duolingo, how many days do you have going, the Duolingo
Hold on,
right now?
I'm looking. Hold on. It's not quite a year.
Getting there.
323.
323. Start a streak.
Yeah.
Duolingo's great about this.
Duolingo is really good at this because they basically nag you.
Yes.
And I need nagging.
And you don't want to lose your streak.
I don't want to lose my streak, but also like I am very one focused in terms of like goals. And so like my day gets going and I can easily forget that I didn't do Duolingo, and Duolingo's like, hey, I'm waiting for you.
Yeah.
I'm just a bear, but I think you should do a lesson.
Yeah.
If you do Duolingo, you'll understand that.
Yeah. Yeah. Start small. Pick a good day to start. And by a good day, it can just be whatever.
Let's not start right before you're likely to fail. I think that's...
And people going on a diet before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Not a good idea. Or right before, like on a Friday. Friday's probably not a great day either because you're like free and like, I don't know. Maybe it's the best day because you're free and you have control. Maybe the work day is the wrong one. But you got to think about that. Like set yourself up for success, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Are the conditions actually there for you to be successful?
Yeah, and I think the conditions are for a habit that you need to be able to do this long enough for the old habit to relinquish some of its grip. And that's widely variant.
Yes, there's no 2-week thing.
No.
That's
and there's
actually
no 6-month thing either.
That's a myth. It's so varied depending on
the person,
how
the activity.
Yeah. Because not every habit is built equally.
Right. Yeah. So
and also like your ability to find resolve the underlying anxiety, or find a substitute. Like all of those things are pretty varied.
Yep. Right. Yeah. So anybody who says if you do this new thing for X weeks or X months, you'll have a new habit. Not true.
Well, what they're doing is they're citing very limited research. So
right.
it's experiments.
And it's an average.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not.
Right.
Yeah. Not useful. And it may make you think you're good when you're not, or vice versa, that it's going to take a lot longer than it actually does.